Welcome everyone to the Monday, July 14th meeting of the Planning and Development Committee. If I could please have a roll call.
Councilmember Kelly.
Here.
Councilmember Isles.
Here.
Councilmember Burns. Councilmember Davis. Councilmember Rogers.
Here.
Chair Geracaris.
Here. Seeing we have a quorum and are ready to do our work, we will start the meeting off. First piece of business on the agenda is public comment, of which we have one person signed up in person. Dave Michalak, if you can come to the podium, please. And we'll have 3 minutes.
Hi, thank you for your time and attention. So first off, I'd like to start off with an issue regarding the forestry in the city. It's been an issue for over 14 years since I moved here. I've called in probably hundreds of times regarding trees growing on the city side of the street, growing in the pathway of the sidewalk, where children riding on their bikes would have to go onto the street in order to make passage. I think this is a safety risk, and I think it's ridiculous. And we're talking hundreds of trees, not 1, 10, 20, 30. Now, I've called everyone I was supposed to. I've called the city manager, I've called the mayor, I've called the forestry director, haven't gotten a call back from the city manager ever or from the forestry director, okay? So I find this to be a very concerning issue. I think the real issue is accountability. Now, there are other issues which in 3 minutes I can't cover, but the issue of accountability is one I like to know how I can address. So who would be at the top of the food chain? Would that be the city manager that would make sure that the forestry director gets on it and takes care of these issues? That's my question. Is anybody here can answer that?
This is public comment, sir. So if you want to stick around afterwards, I can give you emails and we can talk. But this is public comment.
Well, I think I still have some more time. So let's just make this clear. Like I said, for 14 years, hundreds of trees growing over the sidewalk, making passage impossible. You have to go onto the street. That's ridiculous. And not only that, even if you're not a kid on your bike, because kids under 12 are allowed to ride their bike on the sidewalk. That's legal. But when you're an adult, in the wintertime, it starts to snow, those branches get even lower and they go right into your eyes. I would have lost my eye a couple of times had it not been the fact that I had prescription glasses on or a hood in the wintertime. So this is a safety issue. I don't know what you guys are waiting for someone to lose their eye, for a kid to get hit by a car. I don't think we should wait for that. We can do something about it now. And I just want to be really clear. Like I said, this has been an ongoing issue for 14 years. I've called 311 countless times about this issue, and one of many, and it hasn't been addressed. But I've never lived in a city with such little regard for their own upkeep, okay? When you have forestry so unkempt, it looks worse than the jungles of Vietnam, you have an issue. I never see the mayor walking around, and all you have to do is take a walk through the city side. There's not a lot here, but the downtown area, there's plenty of issues to be observed. I just don't get it. I just don't understand how people don't have enough regard for their own living circumstances. Maybe that has played a factor in the fact that about 75% of the businesses here fail on a regular basis. So that's my public comment for now, but I would like to know who's the top of the food chain outside of the mayor, outside of the city manager that doesn't even live in the city, nor does his assistant. They don't even live in the city, so they don't have a personal vested interest in our city. So I think that's a problem. So I would like to know how to get this addressed, okay? And I'd like to see to be more accountability.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Is there anybody online who'd like to speak? Do you have anyone signed up online, or?
There's no one signed up online.
All right. For the record, could we add Councilmember Burns and Councilmember Davis to the roll? And that moves us along to items for consideration. Can I have a motion in regards to item P1, please?
Mr. Chair, I'd move item P1, a vacation rental license for 806 Main Street.
I just want to see his name for Luke.
Do we have a second? All right, that's been properly moved by Councilmember Rogers and seconded by Councilmember Isles. We'll open the floor for discussion about vacation rental license for 806 Main Street. First of all, customarily, we'll let the owner make a presentation if they're here. Is there anyone representing the owner at 806 Main Street? Looks like, okay, if you can come to the podium, please.
Hello, we are the Zabel family. I'm not exactly sure what details are helpful, but we purchased 806 Main Street last year and are hopeful to put it on Airbnb. So that's our request today.
Okay, does anyone have any questions for is it Isabel?
Zabel family.
Zabel
My name is
family.
Belicia.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any questions? It's like Councilmember Kelly.
And do you live in Evanston?
Yes, we live in Evanston.
Okay, great, thank you.
Any other comments or questions about the property? Councilmember Isles.
I don't have a comment about the property per se. I don't have anything against your application. My problem is that I think it's a little disingenuous that we're going to be talking about our goals, and one of our first goals is affordable housing. And we're talking about the need for affordable housing, the need to increase the number of units that we have in the city as we're talking about Envision 2045. And yet we're continuing to approve vacation rentals, which takes units away from Evanstonians. And so maybe this is a question for the previous council or for staff, but I think in the past we've had a moratorium on these. I think we're in the process of defining a more clear policy for how we deal with these applications. And I'm wondering if that's appropriate. Maybe it's a question for staff, whether we can have a moratorium on them until we have a chance in the next month or two to come up with a policy.
Hello, council members. Andrew San Roman, Building and Development Services Manager. We did have, or there was a moratorium on non-owner occupied vacation rentals. That moratorium ended when we acquired software that allowed us to identify the different vacation rentals that are in operation in town. Over the last couple of months, City Council approved for us to send out notices to all the vacation rental owners so that they could then apply for a license. And so at this point, there is no moratorium. And so these vacation rentals are being judged based on the standards that are currently in the ordinance. We are working on and working with HCDC, will be in the coming months, on drafting or redrafting the ordinance. But for now, we have the ordinance that has those standards in place.
So what are the 4 standards that we use to judge these?
Very good question from memory. And let me grab my laptop. Sorry, give me just one moment here. It's in our Code of Ordinances. I believe it's also in the packet for each of the vacation rentals. So you can find it there, but I will pull it up as well.
Well, while he's pulling it up, it is on page 3 of 25 in the packet. It lists the standards.
So the standards are the following. The proposed vacation rental will not cause a negative cumulative effect when its effect is considered in conjunction with the effect of other vacation rentals in the immediate neighborhood. Number 2, the vacation rental will not have a substantial adverse impact on the use, enjoyment, or property values of adjoining properties. Number 3, the proposed vacation rental will comply with all the rules and regulations contained herein. And number 4, the proposed vacation rental is not likely to have an adverse effect upon the public health, welfare, or safety.
Okay, so Councilmember Newsma is not here. This is in his ward. But he did share that there were some complaints from neighbors. Is that correct?
I have not spoken with Councilmember Newsma.
Okay,
but
sorry,
you
that's not a
spoke with him,
question
or-
for you. Yes,
Okay.
I did see some, he did provide some,
That email was just to us.
what's that?
That email was just to us.
Okay.
So I have Councilmember Burns followed by Councilmember Davis. Councilmember Burns?
Yeah. Yeah. So I guess if we're going off of the current standards, then that's one thing. I think it's clear that there's at least enough of us that no longer don't necessarily agree with the current standards and would like to see something different. And I just think to not waste people's time and also not to expose the city to kind of arbitrarily denying some and approving others, that we really just need to table these for a little bit. Doesn't have to be a moratorium. We're not reviewing these. As chair, you can decide not to put these on the agenda. I think let's just give us some time to do this work so that we can make sure that we're, applying the standards fairly to everyone. And I'm not sure we can do that at this point. It's certainly becoming more and more increasingly difficult for me to do that. So, I would love to see us just table these. Let's expedite. I don't think it'll take long. There's already certain things floating around. One of it being, I think this is why Councilmember Kelly asked if you were from Evanston. That might be one of the things we look for as a more spelled out kind of requirement. I think we're ready to do this. We just need to figure out how to expedite it and get it done. So that's what I would like to see.
Okay, Councilmember Davis.
Have you, I don't know the correct word, have you had clients, customers, whatever the word is, patrons in this unit previously?
We have had a couple guests, yeah.
Okay. And also, I wanted to note that in the email, we did receive an email that a couple of the residents within 250 feet were not notified and said they did not get the letters. So I actually do agree with Councilmember Burns just on that basis that we should table. I'm not exactly sure what happened. Maybe it's because it's an apartment and maybe like one of the units got dropped off or something in the area. So that's it.
We did send all the letters that the city of Evanston gave us out with plenty of time, so I'm not sure what specific addresses those would be, but we sent out letters to notices within the protocol that Evanston gave to us.
Councilmember Rogers.
I agree with what Councilmember Burns has said, that we do need to figure this out, but I'm also not in favor of tabling this. We have people who have applied under the existing rules. They have met the standards according to staff. It's up to us to decide if the standards have been met. If we find the standards are met, we must approve it. This is the way it works with planned developments, with vacation rentals, with major minor variations. We have a set of standards, and if those standards are met, it has to be approved. There's things that I don't like about the current process that I think need to be changed, but I think to hold up people who in good faith have moved forward using the process we have in place, it's unfair for us to say, oh, well, we want to take the time to figure out how to make this work. We should be doing that now. It should be an ongoing thing, and it should be a priority if enough council members feel that way. In terms of notices, it has always been policy for the city, and I think Ms. Williams, you know where I'm going to go with this. Delivery is not guaranteed. If they have been mailed, they have been noticed according to the city's process. So mail gets lost, people get a card, throw it away. I'm assuming these are probably postcards similar to what we do for developments and variations. I don't know for sure if is it the same? If people don't get them, they've been noticed anyway, according to the city's own policies and rules. So, like I said, whereas I do have problems with these, the standards I believe are met, and I believe that I have to vote yes on this particular project for that reason.
I think I had Councilmember Isles for a second time.
Yeah, I hear what Councilmember Rogers is saying. We did receive information from Councilmember Newsma that there are neighbors who are claiming they'd be adversely affected. I would rather call for a vote to table than to deny their application at this particular moment. I think it's a more just solution. I'll wait until debate is done, but then I am going to call for a motion to table it until we have a clear policy on these going forward.
Okay, Councilmember Rogers for a second time.
Oh, I didn't know if you were going to continue that thought. I understand. I understand what you're saying. Obviously, this is the issue. I mean, land use, we used to deal with this all the time. This is a meeting where people can come voice their concerns. They have not done that. To my knowledge, there's no one else here to speak on this matter. Is that correct? And I'm going to look around the room to see if anybody's raising their hand to tell me I'm not correct, and I'm not seeing that. To my knowledge, we haven't gotten letters to us. It appears to go through Councilmember Newsma. And, you know, it is his ward and it is his prerogative, but I would rather he make that argument for why this should proceed at council, because I'm sure this will be taken off the consent agenda and we will have this discussion there.
Councilmember Kelly for a second time.
Thank you. So I am concerned, but I agree. I think Councilmember Rogers is making a good point. I am concerned, however, about hearing that there are complaints, yet it's true I don't see them, hear them here, or see them in my email. So on that, I would second a table just to get some clarification as to whether or not there is an adverse impact. But I think you're making a very good point. And these are renewed yearly, correct? So I agree that we have to establish a rule soon on these and code that we're all satisfied with, so that folks aren't coming here reading reading our code and then hearing something else once they get here. So I guess what I'm saying is I would second a table only because of the concerns about the adverse impact, though, yes, but just for 2 weeks to get a little more input on that. So that's all for now.
Are there categories of what adverse impact means?
We haven't heard any complaints is what the
Yeah.
question is. So, yeah, obviously, if there is something, we would love to address that.
I think it would be more fair to table until Councilmember Newsma is here for the next meeting and he can address the concerns he's received. He's listed them in a document that we have, but to be fair to everybody involved, I think it would be better if he was to describe what had happened and for those people to have a chance to speak as well and for you to have a chance to address their concerns. So I'm going to make a motion to table this for 2 weeks.
Okay, is there a second to that motion?
I'll second.
Okay, it's been properly moved and seconded. That is not a debatable motion, so can we please take a roll call vote?
Councilmember Kelly?
Aye.
Councilmember Isles?
Aye.
Councilmember Burns? Councilmember Davis?
Aye.
Councilmember Rogers?
No.
Chair Geracaris?
Nope. The ayes have it, so this is tabled for 2 weeks. So we will be hearing.
Point of order. I don't believe it's tabled for 2 weeks because we don't have. Do we have a meeting in 2 weeks? That's right.
Yep,
This is the
yeah,
next
yeah.
one.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm one meeting ahead of myself here. I'm already in August.
Time moves too quickly, Councilmember Rogers. Don't make it move any quicker than it already does. Okay, so that's been properly tabled, and so we will be back here in 2 weeks.
Same time?
Same time.
Thank Thank you for
Thank
your
you.
time.
All right, do we have a motion relevant to item P2? And anyone?
Mr. Chair, I will move item P2, a vacation rental license for 3210 Colfax Street.
Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Okay, that's been moved by Councilmember Rogers and properly seconded by Councilmember Davis. Open up the floor for discussion on the vacation rental license for 3210 Colfax Street. Sir, you can come to the podium.
My name's John Fell. I've pretty much been in Evanston for my adult life. You know, I listened to your discussion, and it's just like amazing to me that a year ago, I wanted to license this vacation rental. I was told there's a moratorium. I have 2 other vacation rentals that are licensed. And the people who I've worked with in the city have been fantastic in making sure that everything we do in that vacation rental is up to your codes or requirements. And I said, as soon as I can license the other, I want to do it because I think it bodes well for the people who are staying to know that the city has approved the unit. It also, I think, might be helpful to you guys that you get tax revenue from us. And I think you might have your heads in the sand if you think you can just outlaw vacation rentals. The property I want to get licensed today is a small house. We bought it. It was a vacation rental. We wouldn't have bought it otherwise because even to rent it as a regular house, it has no storage. There's no basement, no attic. It was built, I believe, during when they were building out on in Winnetka, the canals and things that are there. They had temporary housing. They looked for lots to put them on. This was done that way. So I don't think I would have any reason to rent it long term. I'd probably have trouble finding a tenant. So all it has is a few closets. Now, I listened to your discussion ahead. I hope you don't have the same problem with my unit. I don't know, did anyone complain about it? I sent the postcard out. I sent 50 of them based on the list you gave me. I have a marketing company, so I know how to put together a postcard that I'm sure got delivered. So were there any complaints about it? Like you had for the other person, or maybe you heard some rumors about someone was unhappy? But I think when you have these, restrictions and everything, and people fill out applications, they do everything you want them to do. I think you owe it to those people to vote yea or nay. And I would ask the same on mine. I don't think it should be tabled. If you want to change the policy down the road, that's fine. I understand that. But I'm here tonight. I came back after I was out of town even to be here. And I would like to have my vacation rental application discussed and voted on. I think you have that responsibility. The people who live here.
Have Councilmember Alves. Over. So, sir, I didn't hear any negative feedback from your postcards. I don't know. Does anyone else have any feedback on this? So I will share with the public that I'm really not a fan of these short-term rentals in general. I think depending on your social circles and where you live, people have different ideas of like what housing is viable. I think hearing that something wouldn't rent because it has too few closets, I think there are plenty of people in town that are would be willing to make that sacrifice. That's not lack of storage. I think it's probably still a viable long-term rental for someone. I'm going to still vote yes, because I think that's the way our rules are set out. But I think we do have a problem in this town that we're, taking housing, which should be something that people have a right to and making it a commodity. And I hope that we can shore up our ordinance and make it more reflective of our town's values. Do you have any more discussion? If not, we can take a roll call vote.
Councilmember Kelly?
Aye.
Councilmember Isles?
No.
Councilmember Burns?
Aye.
Councilmember Davis?
No.
Councilmember Rogers?
Aye.
Chair Geracaris?
Aye. Ayes have it, so you have your license.
Thank you very much.
Well, assuming council approves.
You guys
Assuming council approves. Yes.
No, it goes to council.
Council, yes. Seeing we have no further business, I'm adjourning this meeting, and we can start city council at 6:45.